Travis Wingoodsill. Genesis chapter 18, starting in verse 26. And the Lord said, If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. And Abraham answered and said, Behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. Peradventure there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, If I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again, and said, Peradventure there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said unto him, O let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure there shall be found there 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, Behold, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, O let not the Lord be angry. I will speak it but this once again. Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. What determines righteousness? Deuteronomy 18, starting verse 15. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken. According to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb in the days of the assembly, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see his great fire any more, that I die not. And the Lord said unto me, They have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it, of him. Kind of surprised they don't have 2 Nephi chapter 3 here in the footnotes. Verse 6. For Joseph truly testified, saying, A seer shall the Lord my God raise up, who shall be a choice seer unto the fruit of my loins. And he shall be great like unto Moses, whom I have said I would raise up unto you to deliver the house of Israel. But a seer I will raise up out of the fruit of thy loins. Unto him I will give power to bring forth my word unto the seed of thy loins. And not only to the bringing forth my word, saith the Lord, but to the convincing of them of my word. And then the roll of Judah and the roll of Joseph shall be brought together. How do you communicate with Mormons when they refuse to listen to Joseph Smith? Section 45. We can go over multiple scriptures in the Doctrine and Covenants. Hearken, O ye people of my church. Who's that referring to, Mormons? So the question is, why do you refuse to hearken to the message of the Book of Mormon, to Joseph Smith, the founding prophet? Why won't you hearken? Why won't you listen? Why was Sodom destroyed? You don't know, because the church refused to put it in the footnotes. Or the Mormons, whom I worked with, refused to put it in the footnotes. Ezekiel chapter 16. I think I gotta go way down here. Verse 49. This was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and the needy. So why do you believe then that righteousness is prosperity? Going back to verse section 45. There's a similar thing that happened at the Exodus of Moses. And there shall be men standing in that generation, verse 31, that shall not pass until they shall see an overflowing scourge, for a desolating sickness shall cover the land. That's creeping death in the Exodus. That's where it comes from. Man like Moses. Joseph Smith is the man like Moses. You know, his name shall be after mine, and his father's shall be after his also. That's 2 Nephi chapter 3. That's where all that comes from. Joseph Smith is the man like Moses, whom we have to hearken to. Because there's that thing in Acts that Joseph refers to us in his account with the angel. Take a look at the coronavirus stats for the last 2 days. Who is a false prophet? How do you identify such a person? I would hope that you would at least understand that it's anybody who seeks to put you or your family or others in harm's way. I would hope nobody would want to harm their children, for example. To send them to their death. For what? In vain? In the latter days, we are told there will be false prophets, false Christs, false teachers to deceive us. I mean, yeah, they will preach another God, another Christ. That's part of the deception. Are you even sure that you've got the right one? Is that what Joseph told you, that Jesus is our Christ? Well, Jesus is in the text. Must be. Have you even studied what a creed is? I'm trying to find. Trying to find Mormon when he prays on behalf of his people as they're in the final battle, and he comes to realize that his prayer is in vain. Refuses to lead them, and his prayers for them are without faith. Yeah, chapter 3. Bruce Armaconki put it in there, and Bruce Armaconki put in a false doctrine. But yeah, that's a false Christ, false prophet, false teacher. They preach a different gospel. So what is Mormon's gospel? What is faith? What is a testimony? Are they the same thing? Are you able to have faith in and a testimony in Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ? You even know that's your first question in the temple worthiness questions? Okay. Alright, with all my heart and soul, prayer unto them, nevertheless it was without faith because of the hardness of their hearts. So Bruce sort of left that part out. He says, behold, I had led them, in verse 12, notwithstanding their wickedness. These are the Mormons of the Nephites. I had led them many times to battle, and had loved them according to the love of God which was in me, with all my heart, and my soul had been poured out in prayer unto my God all the day long for them. Aren't we supposed to pray always? I never did do that video, did I? It's now stuck in a pile that I'll never get to. Come on. Seriously? You're purposely going to piss me off today, huh? Nevertheless, it was without faith. Not because of him lacking faith. Faith must be based on correct knowledge. Because if you have a dead seed, you can have all the faith in the world that it'll sprout and grow into fruit, and you can have visions and dreams about how beautiful the fruit will be and how wonderful it will taste. But it's dead. It's not going to produce anything. That's what he's talking about. Because of the hardness of the Nephites' hearts. And then there's some really horrific imagery that is written about here, which would constitute rated X, if not multiple, because of the graphic detail that is described in here. So if it were to be made into a movie, it would at least be NC-17. I think that's the thing now that replaces all the X categories, as X is now specifically for just sexual. So NC-17, I guess, includes everything, violence, along with sexual. But I mean, it's heart-wrenching. Do you know? Have you even been paying attention? Have you even been listening to how this virus works? That it's spread by your breath if you are infected. And so if you are infected, you test positive, what are you supposed to do? Do you go around spreading it to other people? Or does that make you the enemy? Yeah, we were told from the beginning. You know, you watched the movies. You've seen other outbreaks before in the news. You get the people in hazmat suits coming and locking down the area where a viral contagion is. But this is now a pandemic. And it's been a pandemic. It's going on 3 years now as a pandemic. And yeah, I'm sure you're sick and tired of it. But all of this is unnecessary. All those deaths, unnecessary. Because all we had to do was do what Moses told the house of Israel to do, what Joseph told Mormons to do. Stay home, stay safe, just like the medical professionals told you. And if everybody around the world did it, it would pass over. That's why it's called Passover for the Jews, even though it's the house of Israel, which includes us. Why are Mormons anti-Semitic? I shouldn't say that because that's an incorrect word. That's their captive title when they got held captive in Babylon. Babylon assimilated them like the Borg. That's why John uses Babylon as the reference of evil. That's why Joseph Smith used Babylon as a reference of evil, comparing it with the great and abominable church. You know, you're not listening to me, and I cannot know your mind and will. I cannot know how to reach you. It's impossible. I don't know you. I'm just doing videos. If YouTube would back off on the algorithms and set me free, yeah, I can trust the analytics and figure out how to reach you, or at least the majority of you. Identifying who my audience is and build on it. But YouTube shut me down. YouTube has censored and silenced me. And so that's a big part of it. But for those who listen, you don't care to listen. You just keep putting your thumbs down. On TWG, there's the terrible three, who are my enemies, who seek to destroy me, who seek to cause me harm. YouTube seeks to cause me harm. Mormons seek to cause me harm. Why the hell do they all think that they're the good guys? When you yourselves know anybody who seeks you and your family's harm are the bad guys, are the enemies, are the threats. So why then would you want to be that threat to someone else, to someone else's kids? Why aren't you hearkening to Joseph Smith? You refuse to believe him. Who appeared to Joseph Smith in 1820, according to section or the history that he gave in 1838. I just read over with you the Book of Mormon. Joseph is the man like Moses. So what does Joseph Smith say he is in 1838? The Christ. Verse 40. They who would not hear his voice should be destroyed. See, the messenger, you don't believe Joseph Smith, that it's Nephi. You demand and insist that it's Moroni. Joseph Smith papers are out. Do you not even understand why the church refuses to publish the Joseph Smith history anymore and have been pushing the Joseph Smith papers? So why aren't they correcting this? They're publishing the books. They've got the online site. Why? They're making you do all the work to find out all the changes. And know that you won't. Only a few of us will. Now I understand. I used to teach you guys in wards, in Sunday schools and priesthoods. The majority of you don't know Mormonism. You don't know the doctrine. You don't know the stories. They're familiar, but you're not quite sure because the manner of questions make it, you're not quite sure. So you just sit there and you accept whatever is being told to you, because they, for the most part, the teachers are required to just read from the manual. And so you don't do any other study. You may do it as a teenager, may do it while you're at BYU or on your mission. You're cramming while you're on your mission. Guess I better know the doctrine if I'm going to be telling other people about it. And so why then do you attack someone, me, obviously, who tries to warn you of danger, of those who seek to cause you harm, to try to protect you and save your life? I quote Joseph. I quote the scriptures to you. I'm not preaching my own doctrine. I'm not telling you to go out and have orgies and eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Give me your money. Notice I don't ask you for money. There are ex-Mormons who do. And yeah, I understand. You can see my subscriber numbers. The majority of them are dead now. But the majority of my subscribers are ex-Mormon. They want nothing to do with the church. And they are relieved to hear what I know about the church and expose it. That they are not alone. Because the church sought them harm. Mormons sought to harm them. Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow are right now in court because they sought harm, not only caused harm. It's too tight. I'm too thick. I struggle literally to try to get it past my fingers. Difficult Research. That's her channel. She keeps updating us. They're Mormon. But Difficult Research is not. She doesn't understand why Mormons would do this. Why the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints would produce Mormons who would murder her family. She can't come to grips with it. She doesn't understand it. How a religion can be so evil as to produce such horrific, terrible, awful monsters of Mormons. And would Mormons show her how wrong she is by attacking her, putting thumbs down on her videos, sending her death threats and hate comments? Does that prove that the Mormon Church is true? You're seeking to harm all of us. Because we left you because of your harm to us. And then you prove that we were right, as you seek to destroy us from the face of the earth. I cannot count 10 Mormons who are righteous. The only ones righteous are the ex-Mormons. The coronavirus stats peaked yesterday because of testing done on Tuesday. Which means they got infected on Sunday. Last week it was the same. So what happened in Utah on Sundays for the last 2 weeks? Church. The church keeps updating. Reopening church. Reopening the temples. They're not shutting anything down. They're opening. They're supposed to be closed. If Nelson truly was the man like Moses, like Joseph was, he would follow the example of Moses. He would follow the example that Moses or Joseph Smith warned about in section 45. He would keep the church shut until it passes over. He would use the trillions because it's going on to a third year. Your year's supply are all gone now. Oh, but you're forced to go back to work. You're forced to send your kids to school. Really? You're forced? In other words, somebody's trying to cause you and your family harm. Nelson is trying to cause harm to you by having church open, by having the temples open, by having the missions open. There are people dying because of this. Our government refuses to shut down, and it's causing harm. This is a no-brainer situation here. The Utah government and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are seeking to cause you and your family harm. And instead, you go around and attack ex-Mormons, seeking to cause them harm. Do I need to go back to Genesis again? How many people does it require to save the Mormon Church? To be righteous? There are none righteous, no, not one, because they're all ex-Mormon now. And that is just sad and heart-wrenching, because people's lives are in danger. People's lives are ended because of your harm. You are murderers. You are terrorists. You are the enemy. You are not God's people. You do not love. Seeking to cause harm is not love. It's a no-brainer. So what the hell happened? What's wrong with you? Should I have done this video in a different way? Had little flowery CGI characters on the screen going, "Hey Mormons, remember to love!" Yeah, it's kind of vague. Wear a mask so that you don't infect others and have them die. Remember, we were told this. The masks are not to protect us because it's passed by breath. It goes into our eyes and infects us. So yes, we wouldn't have to wear hazmat suits to be protected. Putin did it. the second visit to the hospital. After ridicule for not wearing it the first visit. I really do not know what to tell Mormons anymore. What kind of videos do I do? If YouTube is seeking to cause me harm, if Mormons refuse to listen, you know, ex-Mormons, they're out of the church, but are you guys listening? Are you staying safe? You know, there are hundreds of thousands who keep watching the other ex-Mormons because they're popular. They upgrade their audio system so they don't have to keep adjusting the video quality. Don't have an air unit that during the summertime requires an added fan. It's not the presentation, guys, it's the message. I would think you guys were smart enough to know that. Today is Epiphany. You even know what Epiphany is? Of course not. You're not Christian. I found out last night, long after I did the video in the morning. But lo and behold, well, that's interesting. I did the video, and now it's Epiphany. What do you know? That's when the three wise men, and it's assumed three because it's plural, and then they gave gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and so people just automatically assume one brought gold, one brought frankincense, one brought myrrh. That makes it easier for storytelling purposes. And then it just corresponds with the 3 stars of Orion's belt that point to the Christ star of the Egyptians. What? You know, I've been trying to do videos to help you understand more fully your scriptures, teaching you about Paleo-Hebrew, teaching you about Egyptian, correcting the Bible, correcting the translations. But if you're not even going to listen to me, as I'm only quoting from scriptures to warn you, to teach you the truth, to save you, as you instead think I'm causing you harm? Really? Seriously. When I tell you that Joseph Smith is the Christ of Mormonism, you think I'm harming you. That if I tell you it's Nephi, not Moroni, I'm harming you. That I tell you it's gold, not golden, I'm harming you. Then when I tell you the real church history, that Joseph Smith Sr. was a part of the New Israelites in Vermont, I'm harming you? Man, are you snowflakes? You are easily harmed. Dear God. That makes you sensitive snowflakes. You do understand this, right? You're the ones who came up with the terminology to abuse other people with. And you can't take it when it's on you because you projected it. Projected, that's a big word, Travis. Beam and mote. Do you understand that one? Regardless of whether you know what a beam and a mote is. You know where it comes from. You know the meaning of it. And all I get is Mormons seeking to cause me harm. So what do? I'm about to die because Mormons have sought to destroy me. and succeeded. I no longer have phone service. I can't reach out to anybody. My government won't step in to help me. The church, yeah, they're the ones who ordered it. And it's sad, because the Mormons, who follow the orders of the church to destroy me, are losing their jobs when I file complaints. Those giving the orders don't get in trouble. The ones who are at the bottom of the food chain are the ones who are getting in trouble for attacking me. Was it worth it? Was it worth losing your job? Where those who ordered you to do it keep their job. Was it worth it? They sought to cause you harm by having you do their dirty work to cause harm to others. Was it worth it? When the devil does not support his own? Because the property management? Gone. Was it worth it, guys? Other people gone. Was it worth it? So, in 2008, when the church ordered my incarceration at Utah's concentration camp, the global economy collapsed. Are you seeing what's already being built up right now for what is being done to me right now? Are you sure you want to cause me harm? Monson died 20 years after the church, with him as the counselor, designated me as a threat to the church because Joseph Smith is a translator. Yeah, Joseph Smith is a translator, so I'm seeking the church harm. Monson then died 20 years to the day. I was wondering if something was going to happen this year. Nope. But Nelson sent me a death threat. We're in a tetrad. God has a specific sign in the heavens for the death of false prophets. It's called a lunar eclipse. I did the chart, confirmed it. It's God's little sacred secret death pool. And yet, Mormons seek to cause me harm. Oh, Travis, you're sending the prophets death threats. No, I'm not. They know that. They just want to cause harm. They're being used by the church, and the church will betray them, as they will get in trouble, not the church. Their lives will be ruined, not the church's. Was it worth it?